Hello everybody, I am Aishwarya and we welcome you all to the session of the show The Break Even Diaries. So on 25th March 2020, India had gone under lockdown to contain the spread of this coronavirus pandemic. From this lockdown has unleashed unprecedented loss for the misery upon countries of migrant workers and the poor. So when everyone out there, you and I, is posting videos on Instagram about what khana did we have actually, so there are some people like Sir which are actually going to the roots, finding the solution to how we can help the needy. So today we have on our channel Mr. Patik Muni, who is the co-founder of Khana Chahiye, a social organization that serves meals to these needy people. So we'll have a conversation with him. We'll ask him about how he went, how he had this idea. So I'll just add Sir into this conversation now. You just wait for. Hello, Sir. We welcome
Hi,
you
how are
to
you,
our show.
Aishwarya?
Hi, Sir. Sir, how is
How's
lockdown
life?
treating you?
Sorry?
How is lockdown treating you?
I think why lockdown has changed lives, but I think for us it has changed for better because we have been busy. We have been busy. We have been out on the streets. So for us, it was not a time that we were at home. So yeah, pretty much pretty good,
So,
I would say.
yeah. So for the first question to me is that how this idea came to your mind, and tell us more about Khana Chahiye.
Okay, how did this idea pop up? My very good friend Ruben Mascarenhas, he reached out to me, and we were just having a casual chat where Ruben was telling me that Patik, while the lockdown is there, and a lot of problems along with the lockdown are there, there is a big problem which the absolute destitutes are facing, wherein they don't have access to food, and that's a very big problem. Let's solve this problem using some kind of technology. And because we are all techie guys, we thought that let's use technology to really help these guys. And that's how everything started. I and Ruben decided that let's do a pilot because, as we say in our e-cell, any kind of business plan or any kind of plans, if they are not validated, they makes no sense, right? So we thought about doing a pilot, which we did on 29th of March. And then it just followed, then Khana Chahiye became Khana
So,
Chahiye.
sir, this idea from having a platform like Khana Chahiye to help the needy people, from generation of this idea to execution of this idea. So, how was the journey?
Ah, I think it was wonderful, stressful, innovative. Um, Everything just happened in this 75, 80 days for us. So when we started this, it was me and Ruben along with one of our first food ninjas, Sufyan Sheikh. So we were only three people who walked down, and we like literally piloted with around 1,200 meals. We were thinking that we would do around a few thousand meals, and we would cater to a need of few thousand people. But eventually we went into lakhs. So
So, yeah. So, how did you decide the location to where you should start this initiative?
So the way we decided the location was, so the idea was to really cater to the absolute destitutes, and as we see the geography of Mumbai, um, we 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 knew that people below the flyovers on the highway, have no access, because the way the lockdown was really planned was that people could move around in their local areas. You could move around in your complex, you could move around and go to the local shop, but you couldn't go to the main arterial roads of Mumbai. So what eventually started happening in 5, 7 days of the lockdown is people who are dependent on our movement on those roads, like people who would depend upon selling Chinese products or small little products to us on the highway, or just making a fool mala or something for people. All these guys suddenly had no access to the the audience that they would normally get their bread and butter from. So we decided that let's go to the Western Express Highway and let's cater to the needs of people who are below the highway, below the flyover on the highway. And that's how we started Bandra to Dahisar route on the Western Express Highway, and we cater to the first 1200 people.
Yeah, so I read somewhere in the news that people were really fighting for going in the line and getting food actually. So then,
Yeah.
how did you scale your business in terms of doing the operations, having logistics, and all of that?
Oh, so good question. Yeah. There are a lot of details to it, but the way we looked at was everything was a problem. Like the scale that Khana Chahiye operates. If you have to operate Khana Chahiye in regular times, also it's difficult to come to the scale. While we were given the situation of a lockdown, so most of the things were not available to us. We did not know where to go and find people to even cook meals for us,
Yeah,
and then transport them. So everything itself was a challenge. But the way we looked at it was we figured out who are the people who also need to really stay in business to cook meals, and that is the restaurant owners.
yeah,
Because typically the way restaurants work is the staff normally stays in the restaurant, you
yeah,
know,
correct. Yeah,
right? So while the lockdown happened, the staff was still there in the restaurant, but the
okay,
restaurant was shut down. So there were no customers coming to the restaurant. So obviously they were out of business. We went to them and we told them that listen, we will give you business, okay,
okay,
and you activate your kitchens for us, and that's how we started activating restaurants across Mumbai to cook meals for us. And we started with a few tempo walas to really cater to our logistics needs. And eventually, we got support from the administration, and we got administration to give us BST buses, which we use to transport all this food material across the city of Mumbai.
yeah. So, how many network of kitchens do you have up till now?
So now we have optimized and we've reduced the number of kitchens. Okay, but at a point in time when we were doing almost around a lakh meals a day, at that time we had around 14 kitchens with us. So we had
Okay,
activated around 14
that is a
kitchens.
big number.
That is a big number, I'm telling you. Like we've literally put in 20, 21 hours of work every day for almost like at least 50 days. Went in wherein I had no time to have my own lunch and dinner. I would have lunch at 5 p.m. I would have my dinner at 12 a.m. Um, so it was a crazy time, but I think some craziness is required when you
So, I
want
guess over
to.
here you would have that lunch, the same that is provided with Khana Chahiye, right?
I don't want to eat up from their meals. I was lucky. My mom has been taking good care of me, and so I used to always generally what we used to do is we used to complete the distribution drive and
Hmm.
only then have our lunch. So not only me, so my complete team. We literally started with three people, me, Ruben, and Sufyan. But today we are a 150 people strong team,
Yeah.
our
So,
family.
I have this question over here that you said from 3 to 150. So the number of employees, or you can say the volunteers, increased. So how did you get these volunteers? So did you form a page or what? How did you get them?
Yeah, so we Facebook helped us a lot. Our own contact books helped us. A lot of people when we started posting pictures on Facebook, a lot of people really started reaching out to us that how do we get in touch with you? How do we do our bit? And that's where I got Manoj Shah. He's part of my contact list on Facebook and a very dear friend. He offered to volunteer, and he took on the charge of recruiting a volunteer and training them for the ground. And then we just started building up. I think it's just about like we say in the startup world. Um, Ideas are ideas. If you put those ideas and thoughts into action, somewhere I think the world starts working along with you because people start understanding that you are serious about it. So I think that is what happened to us, and God was kind. People tagged along, and we built a very big family.
Yeah, so it is said that it is like preparing a hunger map and then actually executing it.
Yeah. So even when I look back and I have my throwback moments, and I don't know how did we really pull this off, but I think it was crazy amount of work put in by a lot of people,
Yeah.
and here we are. Yeah.
So whenever you have a startup or you have an idea in mind, the second thought that comes is how will you get funded or where will the money come from? So how did you manage all of that?
Good question. I think funding was always a problem. It's still a problem. We still struggle with funds. Initially, Mr. Ujjwal Thakkar and I, we seeded the idea with certain capital, and then Niti Goyal helped us with initial few thousand meals. And then Anurag Mazumdar happens to be another very good friend and the founder of Logical Indian. So he reached out. He saw my Facebook post and he reached out. And he told me that Pathik, I have this platform, Efforts for Good. Do you want to use that platform, to raise funds? Because I'm sure you would need funds. And we instantly grabbed the opportunity, I would say. And I think that partnership took us a very long way. We literally raised around, I think right now it's around 88, 89 lakhs that we have raised on Efforts for Good for Khana Chahiye. We've raised another 58 or 59 lakhs on for Ghar Bhejo, which is our other campaign. And there is another campaign that we are doing with a NGO called Samarpan, where we have raised a few lakhs. Things started happening. Then the corporate donors came in. SR Foundation came in, Wipro came in, KKCL came in, and many such, corporates just came in and they
So
said, "All right, you
basically,
guys are doing some work."
so basically, you developed an ecosystem wherein people would come in and directly fund and all, right?
Yes, so I think we've used all sorts of fundings. We've used fundings from HNIs. We've used fundings from common people like you and me. We've been very inclusive. We've also included corporates. So I think every source of fund, it may be national or international, we tried and tapped into it, and we had a strategy around everything. So and our execution was very fast. See, the key to doing Khana Chahiye was we could decide and execute a thing in a matter of hours. Like, I'll give you an example. Niti reached out to us saying that, guys, there are these migrants who have started walking back home, in the first week
Correct.
of May.
Yeah.
And I think she was traveling from some point to other, and she just happened to notice these guys, and she just happened to interview a few and send us some videos, and she told us that we should do something about them. This happened somewhere in morning, I think around 10 o'clock or something around that time in the morning. And by afternoon that day, we had a team of 12 people on ground on the Thane toll naka with fruits, biscuits, water, food, everything on ground. Okay, so I think that key is execution.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've also read that apart from food, you also give bananas and other fruits to children. So
yeah.
you transport it from I think Nashik or somewhere. So how do
Yeah.
you do that?
How do we do that? I think that's all jugaad. Yeah.
When
So
you say it is
that's
of regard.
yeah. So that's pure jugaad. I think uh, people were kind. People agreed to help us, and the bananas idea was our dear mentor and co-founder Shishir Joshi. He's the CEO of Project Mumbai. One of the guys who really trusted us day one. He allowed us to use his bank account, his NGO, it's so difficult. Otherwise, you know,
Yeah.
you don't want anybody to enter in your entity, right? But Shishir was so accommodative. He just told us, guys, you have a good idea. If you guys can execute, you will do something really nice for the city. So please go ahead. He gave us access to his bank account. We started using Project Mumbai's bank account, and he came up with this idea of bananas. And
Okay.
then we have this colleague of mine, Sapna. She is a hairstylist, celebrity hairstylist. She's pretty good at what she does. And Sapna just took it on, and Sapna took it on and built this concept of Chota Pocket, which was
Okay.
basically designed for the kids, wherein there was a packet which was nicely made with love, which had some bananas, some biscuits, some khajur, and you know, it was just amazing the way things started happening, and people, like, you know, the way we looked at marketing it, the way we looked at packaging it, it attracted our donors. Our donors felt confident on us, and that's how, you know, we could develop this big campaign.
So on your Instagram, I saw a post of Soros was with you. So I want to learn, how was the journey, or how did you meet him on the same day, and how did work go with him,
With whom?
with Sonu Sood?
Well, it's Sonu Sood. Sonu Sood happens to be Niti's very good friend, his childhood friend with Niti. And I think what happened was that Sonu saw Niti's work, and he reached out to Niti, and he said, okay, Niti, you know what, how can I contribute? And that's where I think he joined the team. He's a very nice guy, absolutely down to earth, no celebrity fuss at all. I think, you know, he gelled along with the team very well. So it just happened, and then it was like, you know, some good minds coming together. And as I told you, you know, the key was execution. Okay, so Sonu did his part, we did our part. Okay, and
So
some magic.
everyone doing their part, but the purpose was the same.
Yeah. See, I think everybody was very aligned to the thought that we are here to help the needy, and we will do whatever it takes to help them. And see, any of such movements, Aishwarya, takes a lot of sacrifice, you know, at the end of people who really do it. You know, like for example, I have, like, you know, most of the people have used this 3 months to you know, spend time with their family. Okay, I have spent time to build a family. Okay, so I built the Khana Chahiye family, but the other side of it is, you know, I hardly had time for my son, I hardly
Yeah.
had time for my wife, I hardly had time for my mother, my father. And I think it's true for all the guys from the Khana Chahiye family. You know, they all work day and night. We literally work, like our work hours were undefined. We would literally work starting 7, 8 a.m. in the morning, and the calls and the actions would go on till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Crazy times of work. I've seen my team members literally being on the train stations, on field till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and heading back home at 2 a.m. in the night when the city is under curfew. Okay, so of course you're not gonna get transport,
So it is
right?
rightly said that hard work, really pays off.
It does. I think hard work really pays off. Okay, but of course, as we say, hard work has to be coupled with
Correct.
smartness, right? You know, you have to be smart about what you do. You have to know that how do you optimize things, and I think you have to be accommodative, because when you get so many people and from various stratas of the society, um, I think you have to be agile to understand their thoughts, their needs, and build it as a team. You know, it's all teamwork. It's no individual can do this on its own. You know, no individual.
So we all knew that in this terms of lockdown, there was a lot of social distancing standards and all. So did you have any rules or guidances that were given that you have to do so and so at this particular time, because you cannot be, or you have to maintain social distancing norms? So how did you do that?
So I think we were very strict on that one, because well, the pandemic showed us that if we have to help people, we have to survive. If we don't survive, then we can't help people, right? So day one, when I, Ruben, and Sufyan were on the field, I think we were the first people to start using the face shields. Okay,
Okay.
and thanks to our friends Vaibhav Chabra and Richa from the Makers Asylum, they actually gave us those face shields at a very short notice of probably half an hour that they gave us the face shields, and we were clear. We reached out to our friends who were doctors. We
Okay.
checked with them. We asked them what is the kind of precautions that we need to take. So Dr. Rajni Bhatt and Dr. Glenn, um, they both helped us understand the virus and how do you protect yourself from the virus. And they have been, since then, they have been part of the Khana Chahiye family throughout. When they've been available for every moment that we wanted them to be. What we did was we built a small training module for all our
Okay.
volunteers who would come on board, and Manoj took it on, and then I
What is
would
this
manage
training
ops.
module? Can you please expand or elaborate a
Yeah,
bit?
yeah. So basically, we built a very small training module where every person who would join the movement would get inducted. Okay, and the induction would happen on the lines of safety because that was
Okay.
our priority. So Mazhar, who happened to be co-leading ops along with me, uh, he took on this initiative and he took on this responsibility. Every person that would join ops would be told how to behave on the field. And the way we looked at it was a head cap, you have to cover your hair, you
Okay.
have to wear a mask, you have to have a face shield, you have to wear your gloves, you have to use sanitizer every 10 minutes, irrespective of you touch something or you don't touch something, you have to use the sanitizers. And thanks to our sanitization partners, I think Mega and Chintan um, uh, both helped us in these difficult times when initially when it was very difficult. If you remember, the first few days, masks were out of stock across. Sanitizers were not available in the medical shops.
Yeah.
Uh, and, and Chintan made them available to us. He just sourced it from, I don't know where he sourced it from, but he just sourced it for us, and we never ran out of supplies.
Yeah.
So we could source all of this. We could give all of this to our team members. We would reiterate this. Mazhar would religiously every morning he would. So we have this little WhatsApp groups for
Okay.
every section where that we cater, and Mazhar would every day morning start his day with sending out this message that this is what you are supposed to be taking care. And I think we reiterated that message for I think number of days that we operated, and then it just became part of our
So,
life.
planning is the main key part in all of this.
Oh yeah, planning is very important, but executing those plans is further important.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I
now
think.
that you spoke about responsibility, the success of Khana Che, positions you as one of the most powerful man, in this time of crisis, playing a big, huge role. But we all know that with power comes responsibility. So, how can you take this responsibility ahead in order to help people grow their startups or students like us, to have an idea, but then to execute it?
So I think the first thing that you need to do is, for at least for social enterprise, is you have to get your problem statement right. Like that's what I and Ruben did day one. When we spoke about the problem, we of course we both are Mumbaikars, so we understood the problem. Okay, but even when we understood the problem, we wanted to validate the problem. Okay, hence the pilot. Okay, we went down on the field ourselves. See, those were difficult times, those were scary times.
Yeah.
Nobody would want to step out of the house. Okay, so but see, that's the risk that you take. If you want to be an entrepreneur, okay, there is certain amount of risk that comes along. You can't be sitting in an AC room thinking that, listen, you know what, I'll solve this problem this way and I'll do this. That it doesn't happen that way. You have to take the charge in your own hands, walk down, understand the problem, and then come back to the drawing board and design. Okay. And everything has to be thought over. Like we talk about this business model canvas. Okay. You know, I think, you know, that's what we did. I and Ruben literally ran through the business model canvas. Okay. And we started understanding, okay, what are our customer segments? What are the, who will be our vendors? What will our team be like? Where can we source our potential funding from? Okay. What is the kind of outreach that we would require? Everything. We put it down on paper, and we were very fast about doing it. So we did not have days to work on it. We
Exactly.
had hours to work on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we it was a war footing kind of a program. Okay, and we did everything in matter of hours rather than matter of days. You know, you cannot relax when you are an entrepreneur. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's
Exactly.
the key, and execution is the absolute key. You
Yeah.
uh, you know, you can think about building an apple, okay, but the only way that you can build an apple is first start assembling the machine. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the only way that you can build an apple.
So as a student, I personally go through these tangents of self-doubt, कि ये हो पाएगा क्या? How is this possible? How can I do this? So how do you deal with it?
I think everybody goes through that. You know, it's just that as an entrepreneur, you have to understand one thing, that you would fail, okay, and failure is not bad. Okay, somehow one has to understand that failure is part of success. Okay, it's part of your training. So only if you are willing that you want to take a chance and fail, you would be able to become an entrepreneur. Okay, because you will have to probably fail a few times before you
So you
actually
have
become.
to keep that ready. If I fail, it is okay with me. So you have to have that mindset.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The reason why the Western guys, the Western world is so successful, okay, is because, you know, failure is not treated as a taboo there. Okay, people can fail. If you see the Americans, if you see the Europeans talking, they
Mhm.
would say, yeah, I started this and then I had to close it down because of this problem. Okay,
Yeah.
that's how we should behave, right? You know, and look at us. You know, we don't even want to share our marks if our marks are slightly lower.
Yeah.
Okay, we honestly feel that you know, nahi, nahi, you know, what will people think about me, that, you know, oh, I failed, people are going to be talking behind my back. Well, it happens. I think it's part and parcel of your life,
So I think
you know.
being selfless is the most important thing over here.
Absolutely. You can't be, you know, scared of with a failure. Failures are part of success. Okay, you will only succeed if you are ready for a failure. Okay, so, you know, it's always any kind of enterprise, it may be social or commercial, it should be taken up on war footing front for the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur has to understand that शायद मैं अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड से नहीं मिल पाऊंगा या बॉयफ्रेंड से नहीं मिल पाऊंगा.
Yeah.
शायद ये होगा कि मतलब, you know, my family might not understand me in the initial runs. It might so happen that the friends or your ecosystem around would also come back and haunt you for it and tell you कि देख तेको बोला था ना, तेको बोला था कि तू गलत कर रहा है. Okay, वो सब होगा. मतलब I think it's a part and parcel of success. It's fine.
Yeah. So, do you believe in strategizing or planning your career? So, do you believe in that? And do you really believe that sometimes plans work and sometimes it is just an opportunity? It's all about a chance, How do you grab that chance?
I think it's a mix of both. So I wouldn't say you should not plan or strategize your career. Okay, you should definitely plan your career. That's definitely a given. But what you should be open towards is, you know, you should. So I keep talking about this brain exercises. You know, you need to. I think we've been we have we've actually done a conversation on that one also in back in Simsri. If you don't train your brain to keep thinking, you would never spot opportunities.
So, are there any
And
techniques that you can use to train your brain now that you have introduced this?
so the basic thing that you should start, okay, is whenever you see anything, just try and tell your brain that, oh, okay, how can this be turned into an opportunity? It may be anything. You don't need to make a business plan out of everything. Okay,
Yeah.
the only thing that you need to do is tell your brain, okay, how could this be done better? How could I use this as an opportunity? Maybe you don't use it as an opportunity, but
Yeah.
if you start thinking that way, your brain would get into that practice of thinking and looking out for opportunities, and then you will spot a lot of opportunities around you. Okay, and then it is just your chance which opportunities you take, which opportunities you leave.
Now, in the long run, as in this lockdown, we know that people suffered from hunger, people suffered, poor people mostly suffered from hunger and all. In the long run, where do you see Khana Chahiye?
In the long run, well, we as a core team, we are looking at how do we build a sustainable model. Like for example, so I have been of a thorough belief that donations is not the way a social enterprise can stand up for long, because people get tired of donating. Okay,
Exactly.
so you know maybe in the initial runs you can probably start with donations and build your way
Maybe
up.
it is all about emotional intelligence. If you have that emotion or empathy, you can have that donation. But after a certain point of time, I think that goes away. Again, you have to have that, and then you can do that.
Correct. So see, it is also about you understanding your donors, right? If you understand your donors and if you think right, the way to go in a social enterprise, especially, is to build a sustainable one. Okay,
Okay.
because see, we like it or not, but the world works on economics. Okay, so your unit economics have to be right. You have to build a sustainable model. You can't build a model के मेरे को लोग पैसे देते रहेंगे देते रहेंगे देते रहेंगे देते रहेंगे, because that is not how the world works.
Yeah.
People would give you some money, but you have to be smart to use that money to build something sustainable, right? Currently at Khana Chahiye, we are building a model, and if everything goes right, we will be able to build a model which will solve two problems for the city. Okay, and those two problems are very big problems. Okay, and this would be done in a very sustainable way. We don't need donors to really support us in that model. We are building a model which will be self-sustaining in itself. So it's very important that you build a sustainable model.
Yeah.
The problem with entrepreneurs these days is they feel VCs है, angels है, P's है, बहुत पैसा available है. हम कुछ we can just raise a few crores,
Yeah.
and then we will just go around doing what we want to do. But I would say yes, people would trust you. If your business plan is robust, they will trust you in the initial runs. But if you don't build a sustainable model out of it, eventually funds would dry up. People would lose that confidence on you. People would get tired of you, and you would have to close down, or even scale down, whatever. So, you have to build a sustainable model.
Yeah.
That's very important.
So this is my last question. That what advice would you like to give to young or the youth of India who are really keen on having a startup, who are really keen on that motive of vocal for local? So what do you think about that?
I think, see, startup as a word stands for start up. Okay, so very important that you start up.
Get
Okay,
up.
because I see I meet a lot of people at these startup events, and they send me their pitch decks and stuff like that, and they have these huge plans. Okay, I think the key to starting up is build your plan. Your plan need to have also a model around a pilot. Build a pilot. Just do it. Okay, just do it. If you don't do it, how are you going to know that are
Yeah.
you thinking right or not? Like I see 90% of the people, they come up with a new idea every day. The first practice that you need to put to yourself is, if you get this idea and if you think it's a brilliant idea, just keep thinking over that idea for the next 15 days. Okay, and don't jump to another idea. Because jumping on ideas will not take you anywhere. You have to stick around with an idea, think on it, make it a robust plan, build a pilot model around it, and do the pilot. Once you do the pilot, I think a lot of people will come and help you.
So we have one question from the audience. Pranav Amlekar is asking that any plans of expanding to other cities?
Actually, yes. We want to expand to other cities. But given the current situation, okay, Mumbai as a city has so much of demand.
Yeah.
Even when we are doing thousands of meals, we still feel on ground that अभी भी हमने कुछ नहीं किया. Okay,
Exactly.
because the bigger demand is very big. Okay, it's huge. So it's something that we keep debating in our core team. Okay, that should we move to other cities and expand our operations, or we concentrate on the city of Mumbai and we cater to this city's need. While I understand demand is everywhere. Okay,
Yeah.
but I think more people have to stand up, and I and my complete team, we are happy. We are more than happy to help and give out every knowledge that we have on how we build. We are willing to share our contacts. We are willing to make introductions, everything. But some people have to stand up, for
Yeah.
their cities.
So this is a small last section that we always have in our show, the Break Even Diaries. So this is a section of the rapid fire round. So the rules are that basically I'll ask you 5 to 6 questions and you have to
Okay.
answer in one word. You have to
Wow,
answer the
okay.
questions in one word, and you cannot take much time for that.
Okay, I'm not as smart as you think, right? Okay, so I hope you know that. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Which is the recent book that you have read?
None.
None. Okay, so
I had no time.
do you believe in reading books?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Okay. So one annoying habit that you have.
I get stressed.
Oh. So how do you have any techniques to handle that stress?
I have friends.
Oh, nice. Very good answer. So your worst excuse to get out of a situation.
Worst excuse, आता हूँ.
Nice. So do you have any nicknames?
Pats. Ruben calls me Pats. Yeah,
Oh,
and he's the only person who is allowed to call me Pats.
great. So what is the best Wi-Fi name that you have heard up till now?
Wi-Fi name? Oh shit! I don't even look at Wi-Fi because I don't switch on Wi-Fi's. Me.
Me. Okay. The worst thing that I have read is do not connect. We have to connect,
Yeah.
but then it is do not connect.
Yeah. So, in cybers, because I come from cyberspace,
Yeah.
on Wi-Fi, people should, and that's something as a public message that I would like to give. As a cyber expert, never ever name your Wi-Fi router with your name. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the worst thing that you do. Okay, keep all the possible innovative, creative names that you can think about. Okay, but don't name it your. There should be no way that a person should be able to find out that this is your router.
Yeah. So this is the last question. Which is the most useless talent that you have? We all know that you have much of talent, but which is the least useless talent that you have?
I can sleep anytime. I think that and anywhere.
That is good, but so that is why I think your productivity is to the highest level.
Yeah, but I would always want to sleep lesser and be awake more because I think I can do more if I am awake.
Okay, great. So, sir, that was a really fruitful session that we had. I hope our viewers and the audiences have gained all insights from you. And I hope that the spirit of entrepreneurship that we are doing together, I hope this stays and this has some benefits to our country, to our nation.
Absolutely. I think at Simsri now, in the incubator, we should see. I've built up a model, right? Okay, I think everyone should at least learn this model and do something, some bit of yours, and it can be very small. Now the unlock has happened. You know, every person who is attached to the e-cell, every person from Simsri should start adopting at least one person whom they will feed. You know,
Yeah.
and it's very important for the city, for the nation.
So up till now we have saluted to the doctors, to all the workers, nurses. So now we have a salute to you and your team.
Oh, thank you so much. It's all my team. I think I have a wonderful family.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Aishwarya. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Bye, sir.